Well, hey guys, welcome to we're actually on day 4. Can you believe it already? Day 4 of owning it as we're trying to drive through and understand and dive into the Word, right? To turn up the light and talking about it. I've enjoyed it so much. So many of you have joined me on the YouVersion app, and we're going through and we're talking and we're discussing the Word, right? And I love that more than anything. And those of you that join on Facebook Live or YouTube or anyway, and you've just been talking, it's been a great time as we're kind of diving in. And I love the most, this is the questions. Man, if you don't understand something, reach out, right? And guess what? I don't have all the answers, but I'll sure research and we can iron sharpen iron together. But today I want to talk to you about a part of our reading where we're in the book of Job and obviously in the book of Genesis. But the book of Job is very interesting for a lot of reasons. We had some great conversations already. But one of the things is we have to recognize Job's friends. We see him off the front, and Job's friends get a bad rap a lot of times, right? Because, again, of how they're arguing, and God reprimands them, rightly so, you know. But what's interesting to me is we catch Job's friends when they show up on the scene for the first time. Do you understand? They just sit with Job for 7 days. They don't say anything to him. They're with him. They're mourning. They're grieving with them. They put ashes on their head. Those of you with the Tabernacle series, you understand that context. But they put ashes on their head. They're mourning with Job. That's some good friends, right? And then Job begins his complaint. And then they each take their time and they respond to him. But here's the problem. And this is the problem with Job's friends. And this is the problem with a lot of us, myself included, that sometimes our preface is incorrect. Our argument may be correct, but our starting point is wrong. And understand this, Job's starting point, or Job's friend's starting point, is the fact in believing that God, that bad things, sickness, financial issues, all this stuff, relational, all that stems from sin. And so they're looking at Job and saying, hey man, you were wealthy, you've done all these great things, you've done all this stuff, you were awesome, but now that you've sinned, you are now in punishment. And that's their preface, that's their starting point for their arguments. And what we need to be cautious of, a couple things here, but one is, as we're reading the Job's friend's response to Job, don't throw it out, because it is good theological work. Believe it or not, they're saying some great things. In fact, in chapter 8, verse 2, or verse 3 says, does God pervert justice, or does the Almighty pervert the right? If your children have sinned against him, he will deliver in the hand of the transgressions. If you seek God and plead with the Almighty for mercy, if you're impure and upright, surely he will rouse himself. Surely he will be there. That is good theological work right there. That is right. That if you follow God's ways, right, he will be there. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. God works all things out for the good for those who are called according to his plans and purpose. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not bad. It's good stuff. In fact, I would challenge you that for many of us, we need to be a little bit more like Job's friends and speak into the lives of certain individuals in our lives that we know that they're sinning. We see them sin. Here's the problem. Job's friend didn't see Job sin. They saw him in trouble. They saw him losing his children, losing his livestock, and having bad health now, and say, well, you must have sinned. We don't know what you did, but you must have sinned. And that's their response. But for you and I, can I help you understand that we are called to be light in darkness? So when we see darkness, we must speak light. We must bring light. God said, let there be light. We must bring light into situations. And that's what Job's friends are trying to do. They're trying to bring light to Job. Again, they start out wrong, but what they're saying is right. And so I really challenge you to, to bring some truth into people's lives, to speak to them. Hey, God is for you. He's for you when you do the right things. And yeah, you may be in trouble. You may be having problems right now, but understand that God will work all things out if you follow him, if you do what he's called you to do. And to recognize we're supposed to speak that out. So before you just kind of dismiss what Joe's friends are saying, right, and how they're acting, before you dismiss that and kind of skim through it, read through there and ask yourself, would I be that good of a friend to go and mourn with those that are in mourning? But would I be a better friend? Would I be a better mentor? Would I be a better parent or a grandparent or a coworker if I said, hey, I see that you have fallen here. I see that you are having issues. Understand, you can't continue to do that, and God will not bless you for living in that sin. But let me tell you the truth of who God is, that God is a merciful and a graceful God, that God loves you beyond anything. I love you guys. Man, I appreciate this. And again, comment, questions, anything, let me know. And let's just continue to iron sharpen iron. Let's continue to discuss